Alrighty, folks. Anthony Taylor here live in the Upper Cumberland Weather Studio. We're going to do some extended coverage this evening. We have storms entering the region right now. One pretty big storm that's blown up over Macon County, and we'll go straight to radar right now to take a look at that storm. Right over top of Lafayette right now, approaching Red Bowling Springs. We have this severe thunderstorm warning in effect until, I believe, 7:45 p.m. for the potential of damaging straight line winds in excess of 60 miles per hour and quarter-size diameter hail. And here you see your polygon there. There is your severe thunderstorm warning, again in effect until 7:45 p.m. Rather large warning. This includes Hermitage Springs, Salina, and areas down to Gainesboro. So persons in this area, you need to be getting indoors and into a sturdy structure as this storm approaches. This storm means business. There is lightning embedded within this as well. And again, that potential for quarter-size hail, damaging winds in excess of 60 miles per hour. Rolling into the Hartsville area, the storm is not severe warned, but it is fairly strong, crossing Highway 231 right now on the western fringe of Trousdale County, moving towards Hartsville. So we're going to hang out here this evening. We'll be live for a while as we track these storms. We're kind of just now getting going. We have additional strong storms to our southwest here near Columbia, back towards Lawrenceburg. And we're just waiting to see if this gap is filled in here with time. But we're just now getting started with this event, and we do anticipate storms to become more widespread as we go through the next few hours. This is what we've been talking about. So again, here we go. Storms on radar. So if you have high school football this evening, I know a lot of games kicked off early at 6 p.m., but just a heads up, we do have some strong storms now here approaching. So again, just be mindful of that. We will take a look right now at our Hermitage Springs sky cam. And there you can see the darkening skies there in the distance approaching Hermitage Springs right now as the storm is heading your direction. Storm's moving towards the east at about 40 miles per hour. And again, damaging winds in excess of 60 miles per hour and quarter-size hail are the main concerns here. Lafayette, things have calmed down for you. The storm has now moved east of you as we go back to radar. And we'll go full screen with this. But again, severe thunderstorm warning in effect until 7:45 p.m. And again, this is a very strong storm producing hail very likely, as well as the potential for damaging winds in excess of 60 miles per hour. So anyone inside this yellow polygon, you want to be, again, getting indoors right now. We're not worried about a tornado with this, thankfully, but it is a very strong storm. We'll put down some very strong winds as well as that potential for hail. So it is in your best interest to be getting indoors until this threat passes. And we'll go back to our Hermitage Springs sky cam again. As this storm approaches, we can see it off in the distance there. So we're going to, again, be covering these storms for as long as we need to be here this evening. We did a brief stream yesterday. That was the first time I've been live for storms in really quite a while. I think since the end of June. So we've enjoyed quite a long break from severe weather, but it is rearing its ugly head once again this evening. We have a severe thunderstorm watch, I'll remind you, in effect until midnight. Now, we may see some of our northwestern areas drop from that watch before midnight. I think our severe threat overall will likely come to an end around 10 to 11 p.m. or so. But again, we're looking at Hermitage Springs right now. That is a live view right now from Hermitage Springs. We have a few other cameras we can look at as well. Look at this one from the Cordell Hull Dam. Don't think we'll see this storm the way the camera's pointed right now. Let's look at Haydenburg. This is northwestern Jackson County. Really, our best view right now is going to be from Hermitage Springs. And there we go. So we pointed the camera, moved it up a little bit to get a really good view there of that storm as it is approaching. It's a mean-looking storm. You can see lightning, lots of lightning embedded within this storm. It is moving into Red Bowling Springs right now as we speak, and it is approaching Hermitage Springs. Hermitage Springs, it's raining lightly right now, but rain will pick up very, very soon. So again, there is your storm right now. As it's approaching Hermitage Springs, we'll go back to radar again and take a look at this from the radar view. And just a nasty storm here. Lots of lightning embedded within this as well, as we saw from that tower cam view. And again, that potential for damaging straight line winds in excess of 60 miles per hour, in addition to quarter-size hail, both possible here. So let's go back to that tower cam view again from Hermitage Springs. And you can see just a nasty, nasty looking storm here as it's approaching. So this is over top of Red Bowling Springs right now and points west toward Sycamore Valley, all across eastern Macon County right now. And this is approaching western areas of Clay County and northwestern Jackson County, with additional strong storms developing over Trousdale County right now that we will also take a look at. Here in just a second. So here's this other storm developing over Trousdale County right now from Hartsville and points north. We have a new advisory for this storm that includes central and northern areas of Smith County for the potential of wind gusts up to 40 miles per hour and half-inch diameter hail. We'll have to watch this cell closely in case it strengthens. I know Smith County right now is playing Livingston, I believe, in Carthage. So this storm is still a little ways away, but it is drifting in that general direction. Certainly the lightning threat is actually very imminent. We have lightning strikes being detected up in Pleasant Shade, so not too far from Carthage. So if anybody is watching right now at that game, I would definitely recommend probably stopping play about now, just to give people time to get to safety. That's my recommendation. Again, I'm not... again, I don't make decisions for people on these sorts of things, but again, that is my recommendation anyway. Let's go back to that Hermitage Springs camera again. And just again, we're watching this as it slowly but surely gets closer to Hermitage Springs. Right now, the storm, again, is located over eastern Macon County. And what a view. I mean, that is Just a nasty storm. Would not want to be caught in that, certainly driving. You don't want to head west if you're in Clay County. You don't want to be heading west right now into Macon County, that is for sure. Or if you're in the Lafayette area, you don't want to head east towards Red Bullet Springs because, again, this is a very, very nasty storm. And it does mean business. Damaging winds in excess of 60 miles per hour and quarter-size hail, again, being our concerns with this storm. Looking at some comments now, Fee says Red Bullet Springs is rough right now, and I can absolutely believe it. Looking at this on radar again. Again, heaviest activity right now over top of Red Bullet Springs, down towards Kirby. And this will be moving into northwestern portions of Jackson County and western Clay County in a matter of moments. So severe thunderstorm warning in effect until 7:45 p.m. And that yellow polygon you see there. We have a boundary here extending back towards Hendersonville. We could see additional storms develop along that boundary, maybe filling in the gap here between these storms southwest of us and again the storms moving through Red Bullet Springs right now. So it's going to be a potentially long evening for us. It is possible not all areas will see storms. It depends on how well organized these storms become. If we see this more of a line begin to form and the storms become more organized, then we could certainly be looking at a more widespread impact. But it's just a lot of wait and see right now. The models have been trending towards a more widespread storm event for us this evening. But again, it's a lot of wait and see. But we do know at the moment we have a very intense storm again over Red Bullet Springs, moving towards Salina, moving towards Gainesboro, and points in between. Let's go back to that camera again in Hermitage Springs. See lots of lightning embedded within this storm. Very dangerous storm. You don't want to be caught out in this. You want to be getting indoors inside a sturdy structure as this storm moves through. Again, very intense storm that we're looking at here. And I tell you what, let's take this full as we watch this approach. Again, it's just about to overtake our Hermitage Springs camera site. Right now we're seeing wind gusts up to about 20 miles per hour out ahead of this, but I expect our winds to pick up quite a bit as the storm moves overhead. Just a tremendous amount of lightning embedded within this. These are very electrical storms this evening. That's one of my biggest concerns with high school football going on in some areas. I don't have a full list of games in front of me. I know Smith County's taking on Livingston. I'm not sure what the status of that game is right now. But again, we're going to continue to watch this storm. This is better than radar. This is a live Skycam view from Hermitage Springs right now as this very, very intense storm moves overhead. Right now, winds are sustained at about 16 miles per hour at our Skycam site here. But we'll likely see those winds pick up quite a bit as the storm moves overhead. So Westmoreland was playing at Red Bullet Springs. I don't know what the status of that game is. Obviously, the storm is right over top of Red Bull and Springs, so hopefully if that game did continue, that everybody is sheltered right now, as this very electrical, dangerous storm is right over top of y'all. Trying to get more information on area games right now. Of course, if you're at a game, you know where you're at, but I don't have all that information in front of me at the moment. So winds so far have peaked at about 22 miles per hour. So Clay County is playing tonight as well. They're playing Jackson County at Clay County right now. So hopefully those at that game hopefully has been suspended, I would hope. Again, we got lightning in the area and the storm is approaching. Salina is under this severe thunderstorm warning. So that takes care of Jackson and Clay counties, and then we know Smith County's playing Livingston right now. And again, I don't know the status of that right now, but anyone in the comments wants to jump in and let us know what's going on. Okay, DeKalb County's playing at Watertown. Yeah, if y'all want to let me know in the comments what games are going on, that is very helpful because that will give me an idea of who we need to be talking to. This is one of those things you don't really think about until we're actually in the middle of these storms. So again, there's your storm right now as it moves over Red Bull and Springs. The worst is still just a little bit to the west over top of Red Bull and Springs right now, but again, still very intense storm. We're seeing all kinds of lightning very close by, and we want to be taking this storm seriously. Let's look at radar real quick. We'll jump over there. And again, this is moving into radar in motion. Hermitage Spring right now as we speak. So the worst is over top of Red Bull, or Hermitage Springs, excuse me, at the moment. Winds haven't gotten too extreme yet. We've peaked at about 22 miles per hour, so that's good to see. Strongest winds may be further south. Let's go to that view one more time. Again, with the storm overhead. It's like our strongest winds are going to go just south of Hermitage Springs. In fact, radar is picking up on winds of about maybe 60 to 65 miles per hour just south of Hermitage Springs, south of our tower camp or sky camp site here. Those winds are over top of Union Hill moving towards Midway. So very strong winds moving through central Clay County, heading towards Salina. So Salina, and I'll pull this up on radar. What I'm looking at here, this is the velocity view. We're seeing indications again of 60 to 70 mile per hour winds potentially. So I wouldn't be surprised if we have some downed trees with this, maybe some power outages. And again, my biggest concern here, this storm is moving towards a football game being played right now in Salina, Jackson County at Clay County. So hopefully play is being suspended there. And everybody needs to be getting inside a sturdy structure. Don't go to your vehicle unless it's a last resort. Everybody needs to be inside, not under a covered awning. I mean, inside. There's a lot of lightning, very dangerous lightning with this storm, as we can see in Hermitage Springs. So anybody at that game, you need to be getting indoors right now. Again, dangerous storm approaching the Salina area. Not worried about a tornado with this, but we do have a very clear damaging wind signature, very apparent here, right over top of Union Hill, and that is moving in the general direction of Salina. The worst of the winds did go just south of Hermitage Springs, so we got about a 22-mile-per-hour gust at our Skycam site, but the stronger winds are just south of there per radar. And again, that is blowing right towards Salina, with also very dangerous cloud and ground lightning associated with the storm as well. We'll look at the reflectivity view. I think one of you mentioned hail in Hartsville, and that does track with what we see on radar here. So very intense storms extending from northern Trousdale County on into eastern Macon County, now into western Clay County. For the Smith County Livingston game, we have, again, these storms just to the north. We have a boundary extending out from these storms, so we could see new storms begin to fire along this boundary. We'll definitely have a pretty big gust of wind associated with this. So those in Carthage, I would be definitely paying very close attention to this, especially with the lightning threat more than anything. The lightning can extend many, many miles outside of the storm, so we could still have lightning in the Carthage area, even with these storms being just to the north. So just something to keep in mind. As for Red Bull and Springs, while it is calming down there, there's still a lot of lightning in the area, so I would not recommend being out in the elements just yet. I'd give it a little while for the storm to blow on through, and then y'all should be good to go. Hopefully the rest of the evening, as far as any kind of game goes. We may have additional scatter showers and storms overnight, but no severe weather worries. A lot of y'all are saying Union Hill is awful, and that does line up with where we're seeing those winds on the velocity view here. Very intense winds in and around Union Hill being picked up there. Let's look at our Salina Skycam site here. Again, the storm is still a little bit to the west of Salina. But it is rapidly approaching, though. So while everything is calm in Salina right now, that will likely not be the case. And we just saw the camera updated there. So again, you see the darkening skies approaching there from the west, and the conditions will be deteriorating very soon. You can see the lightning there. Fixing a little graphical issue here while we're live on the fly. If you've been keeping up with our Upper Cumberland Weather Channel, and I hope you do, we are in the middle of making some pretty big upgrades to our channel, and several changes are being made that are long overdue. And not everything is completed yet, so there's still a few finishing touches to do here and there, and still some programming changes we're going to make as well. So we'll check out radar once again. Still a very intense storm located between Hermitage Springs and northwestern areas of Jackson County, just northwest of Haydenburg, extending across southern Macon County back towards Hartsville. Tremendous amount of lightning embedded within these storms as well. We'll pull up that Skycam view again from Salina. You can see again a lot of lightning here already being seen from Salina. I want to read some of your comments now. Several of you have mentioned no power in Red Bull and Springs. Somebody else about naders. Not worried about naders tonight, thankfully. I mean, can never totally rule one out. I don't want to say it's not entirely impossible, but we're just not in an environment that's supportive of tornadoes this evening. It's more of a damaging wind, hail threat with a tremendous amount of lightning with these storms. And again, this storm is inching ever closer to Salina. So let's take a look at radar again. We'll do a full view for those wondering about different locations. It's just our northwestern quadrant right now that's seeing storm activity. Farther east towards Jamestown, Crossville, Sparta, Spencer. We're quiet right now. Now that will likely change later on if we see more storms fill in here in between these two clusters, which we do expect to happen over the next few hours. We do anticipate more storms eastward, but as it pertains to football and any other outdoor things going on this evening, we may get lucky, especially if you're along the plateau down towards Spencer, unless something pops up over the next hour or so. Again, it's just a wait and see game. Let's pull up that Salina view again. Lots of lightning here with this storm, very electrical storm. Approaching Salina right now. Again, severe thunderstorm warning still in effect until 7:45 p.m. And we do have a few high school football games going on in this area. Certainly the most concern right now would be for the Jackson County, Clay County game. Does anyone have an update on that? Anyone who's there? What's the situation? Are we clearing the field? Have we paused the game? Hopefully that is the case. If you are there, you need to be getting indoors right now. We have strong winds approaching. Maybe not quite as strong as we were seeing earlier, but I think wind gusts up to 50 miles per hour definitely still possible with this storm. Just a matter of maybe 2 or 3 minutes away from hitting Salina per radar. According to Tammy on Facebook, power was knocked out there as this storm rolled through. Okay, they're on a 30-minute delay. So, okay, halftime and on a 30-minute delay on that game. That's good, but you don't need to be sitting outside in this. You don't need to be in under like an awning. You need to be indoors in a structure as this moves through. A vehicle would be your last resort if you have to. I just wouldn't be parked under a tree or anything, just for your own safety. Again, strong winds approaching. Not worried about a tornado with this. I know we have that little appendage there you might see under the Salina logo. That's just a scud cloud. But you need to be indoors right now. I'm not too familiar with Clay County's facilities, but hopefully doors are being opened, though, at the school or whatever to let people in before things get too rough there. Storm has maybe weakened just a little bit per radar, but still a very intense storm. Lots of lightning with this. Lightning's the biggest hazard here. That's why we don't want you under an awning or anything. We want you to be extra safe and be indoors. Lightning can still strike you if you're under like a picnic pavilion, for instance. You can still be struck by lightning. Under a porch, you can still be struck by lightning. You're still outdoors. You need to be indoors inside a structure. And then, of course, with the damaging wind threat, if you're in a vehicle, you definitely want to be away from trees or anything. You want to play it safe in that regard, but indoors, again, still going to be your safest bet with that as well. Lee says everyone is seeking shelter. Okay, that is good. And again, we're not worried about a tornado with this. I want to stress that. So we don't have to go, to a tornado safe spot or anything. When I say shelter, I just mean just get indoors, That's really all I mean by that. So, no power at Red Bull and Springs. Okay, Jackson County has a middle school home soccer game that's currently delayed. Tons of lightning, and yes, that does need to be delayed. Really anything, if you're in northern Smith County, even though Smith County isn't seeing a whole lot right now, we'll look at radar real quick, just near Russell Hills where the stronger storm activity is located. If you're north of Carthage, I would still be indoors right now, just because of the lightning threat. We have lightning just to your north. We could easily get a lightning bolt here further south. Gainsboro, you need to be sheltered right now indoors. You're under this severe thunderstorm warning. This is heading your way, and for areas just north. In fact, we'll take a look at our Gainsboro camera. We'll pull that up here in just a sec and take a look at Gainsboro right now. Pretty gnarly view here from Gainsboro. We're looking towards the west here. I can't point this northwest, unfortunately, because the tower gets in the way, but still a pretty good view there of this storm. Very, very electrical storm we're seeing right now in Gainsboro. Again, this is the same storm that is moving into Salina as we speak. So Livingston Academy and Smith County, they're on a delay until 7:40, which is good because we do have lightning close by. Close enough anyway. It's close enough, even though we don't have a storm imminently encroaching upon Carthage. It's just very tricky this evening because we have high school football going on. We got a lot of people outdoors scattered throughout the region, so we just want everybody to be safe this evening. As safe as possible. But yeah, that is, let's go full screen with that. That's just a very intense looking view there. Of course, we have the sunset in the foreground, so, or the background rather, in behind that storm, so it makes it look even darker. Pretty cool shot there. We'll go to Haydenburg. Haydenburg is underneath the storm right now, so we'll give that a second to refresh. Yeah, just very intense scene right now in Haydenburg. Winds haven't been too terribly strong yet at our tower campsite, so that's good. Very likely getting some hail here, though, up towards North Springs, moving into Whitleyville. Let's go back to our Salina tower, or our Salina camera. And that is Scud there, the top right of your screen. That is a Scud cloud. Just in case anyone's concerned about that, that's nothing tornadic. See, the camera's starting to shake now in Salina. Winds are picking up. We've actually had a wind gust of 30 miles per hour in the last 30 seconds. So it is here. It is in Salina now. So again, this is what we've been talking about. You want to be indoors. Let's go full screen with this. Again, very intense storm. Part of the updates I'm making to our channel and our severe weather coverage as well will be when we have our sky cams pulled up. We'll also have the live data being pulled from our weather instrumentation at each site displayed in real time. We don't have that set up yet, but that will be one of the big upgrades we're making right now with the work we're doing. So that'll be coming, and that'll be very handy, especially in situations like these. I can give you that information off screen in real time, but it'll be nice when I can actually display it, though, and that is something we're working on. But the conditions deteriorating quickly in Salina right now. Winds are whipping. Again, we've had a just about a 30 mile per hour wind gust just in the last minute or so. And wind's still quite strong right now in Salina as this moves overhead. Ton of lightning with this. And wow, it's a lot of lightning with this storm. Very, very electrical. It's my understanding the Jackson County, Clay County game has been suspended. And people are sheltering, so that is good to hear. You don't want to be out in this right now. This very, very, very intense storm. We're hyper focused on Salina right now again because we do have a football game in action up that way. I know Red Bull and Springs, y'all are also playing tonight. The storm has moved past you, but there is still lightning in the area. So I know TSSAA, the officials, I'm sure, are on top of that. So I'm sure play is still suspended there, but you still want to be sheltered even though it's not raining and the storm has moved past you, just because, again, we still have that lightning threat there. And I believe Smith County, Livingston, being played in Carthage, is also suspended until 7:40, so another 10 minutes. And that pretty well tracks to what we're seeing on radar. So far, so good in Carthage. Now, we do have a boundary about to push through that will see an uptick in winds. And we could get some storm development along that boundary. We'll just have to wait and see. I wouldn't be too surprised if we do see additional storms fire back that way. But again, it's just a wait and see game right now. So storm's moving over top of Salina right now. As we can clearly see. Got a new severe thunderstorm warning coming out, so we'll take a look at that real quick. The severe thunderstorm warning is for central and eastern Clay County, most of Pickett County, at least up to Byrdstown, central and northern Overton County, and northeastern portions of Jackson County. This warning is in effect till 8:15 p.m. So this is an extension of that severe thunderstorm warning. So again, if you're in Livingston, if you're in Byrdstown, of course we know Livingston Academy is playing at Carthage right now. But if there are any games, I don't know what York's doing. I don't know what Pickett County's doing, but y'all can let me know in the comments. Yeah, your weather radio should be going off. I'm not aware of any outages, at least that I've heard of. Keisha says hail in Gainesboro. I'm assuming you mean yeah. So York is playing Meigs County right now, but the storm's still pretty good little ways away from you right now, so y'all are okay at the moment. But we'll certainly be watching this for you as well. And then Pickett County's at Cannon County. So Cannon County's okay right now, but we do have some strong storms back to the west, approaching southwestern portions of Rutherford County. So just a heads up, in Woodbury, there is a strong storm back to your west, so you may end up in a lightning delay here pretty soon. But Jamestown area is good right now for that York game. But again, Salina, the storm again is on top of you right now. So again, it will likely be a little while before play can resume. Because not only do we need to get the storm on out of here, the lightning threat also needs to end. So just hang tight there. Someone said we froze up and they came to YouTube. How do we look right now if you're watching? Are we... I'm guessing we're good to go. Again, it's been a while since we've had severe weather to cover. We did do a brief stream yesterday just to kind of dust off the cobwebs a little bit. Our last severe weather stream, I believe, was in June. So it's been a while. We've had a fairly quiet summer. We've had a lot of storms, but we haven't really had much in the way of severe weather. Certainly nothing widespread or all that organized. So York is in the fourth quarter. Okay, that is good. So y'all will probably get that game in. But yeah, if y'all don't mind sharing our stream, though, especially on Facebook, I know our views are kind of low right now on Facebook, but again, I know it's Friday night. We got a lot going on right now. People outside of this storm may not be all that invested in the weather right now, but again, there's a lot of storminess right now. We're seeing the gap begin to be filled in back to the west. The storm's approaching the Nashville area, so those farther south, Carthage, Cookeville, Sparta, Smithville, I will likely get storms later on. But right now, of course, our strongest storm being this one over top of Salina right now. We've had a 35-mile-per-hour wind gust in Salina in the last 5 minutes from this storm. Very intense storm over northwestern Jackson County right now. We'll go to our Haydenburg camera. This is northwestern Jackson County. And actually, we may have, we've lost that camera. It's so intense. We have maybe lost power there. Let's go to Gainsboro. And we'll let this refresh. So Gainsboro, this is moving your direction as well. Again, very electrical storm. We're seeing this activity begin to stretch back into Smith County now, so difficult, pleasant shade. Getting a pretty good sized downpour right now, moving towards Kempville. Gladys, moving your direction. You're not under a severe thunderstorm warning, but you do have a heavier storm moving your way right now as the storm begins to grow just a bit. Again, just a tremendous amount of lightning with this, as we can see from Gainsboro right now. But let's look at radar and get the full picture here. So this is our main focus right now, this one storm that extends from Salina back into northern Smith County and is growing a bit and is moving towards the east, kind of east-southeast/east, moving towards Gainsboro, towards Livingston, towards Byrdstown. So Dale Hollow Lake in the path of this as well. Damaging winds in excess of 60 miles per hour are our main hazard here, as well as the potential for quarter-size diameter hail. Naomi asked about Cookeville. Cookeville, you're fine right now. Now, we may have storms later. Right now, you're okay. Same for Sparta, Smithville, Crossville. That's why we're not talking about you. We're just talking about the areas that are experiencing storms right now as we speak. Y'all are the ones we are most concerned for at the moment. Got a new severe thunderstorm warning coming out for this portion of this storm that's extending towards the southwest, so back into Smith County, up into Haydenburg, for the potential of damaging winds in excess of 60 miles per hour and $half size hail. So pretty big hail with this. This will be moving into Gainsboro. This extends back. This extends from Difficult and Pleasant Shade up into Haydenburg and Whitleyville, and this is moving towards the east-southeast at about 35 miles per hour. Of course, seeing a tremendous amount of lightning with this storm, as we have been observing. I'll try to reposition our Gainsboro camera if it will cooperate. Well, that's okay. It's in a pretty good spot right now, so we'll just leave it the way it is. But let's pull that back up again. Just a tremendous amount of lightning with this storm. I would say the strongest portion of the storm right now is over northern Jackson County. So if you're in Livingston, if you're down in the Cookeville, all good. While you are fine right now in Cookeville and all good, this storm is drifting your direction and you are under the severe thunderstorm warning. So Lisa, in all caps, Carthage is not under this severe thunderstorm warning. This is northeastern Smith County, so Carthage is not included. That game is fine right now. There is lightning close enough nearby that play should probably remain suspended for a little bit longer. But as of right now, Carthage is okay. Now, we are watching back to the west some storm activity extending back west of Nashville. Pretty intense storm approaching the Nashville area right now that is growing. And we're seeing some rain begin to break out back this way as well. So we'll have to watch all of that. But there's nothing imminent as far as approaching Carthage right now. So y'all are okay. Yep, Cookeville is under a severe thunderstorm warning. It's kind of wait and see, though, if Cookeville will be impacted by this. It kind of bisects Cookeville, so those near the interstate are not in this warning. It's more around the hospital and Tennessee Tech and points northeast towards all good. But a lot of that will depend on how far south this storm will grow. You are welcome, Sarah. Looks like we have more people tuning in now. I guess when Cookeville got the warning, that's bringing more people in. Let's reset real quick. We'll go full screen with radar, and this might be a good time to reset since we have a pretty large area under severe thunderstorm warnings right now. A lot of people tuning in. We are live this evening. We do have severe storms, thunderstorm warnings in effect right now. The areas you see shaded in yellow. For the potential of large hail and damaging wind gusts. We also have a tremendous amount of lightning embedded within these storms, located from northeastern Smith County on into northern Jackson County, extending into central Clay County. And this activity is moving towards the east at about 35 to 40 miles per hour. So they're moving along. They're not fast movers by any means, but they are moving along. Of course, we have ball games going on right now, lots of high school football action being played right now. I know Jackson County, Clay County, they're in a delay right now up in Salina with again, a big storm over top of you right now that we have been tracking. And even when the storm passes, that lightning threat may persist for a little while longer. In fact, we have a tower cam there we can take a look at. Right now in Salina, you can see it is just raining buckets right now. Still seeing a tremendous amount of lightning up this way. We can look at our Gainsboro tower campsite. Gainsboro, this storm is almost on top of you. In a matter of minutes, it will be. And again, same story here, just seeing a lot of lightning embedded within this storm as it approaches you. Livingston, Byrdstown, y'all are included in this warning as well. But the storm isn't to you yet. You probably have another 30 minutes or so before these storms arrive. And then, of course, this warning does extend down into Ogden and Cookeville. Now, it's a little bit more wait and see for y'all if this storm will impact you. It may go just to your north. Unless it extends farther south, then you might be impacted. So, again, a lot of wait and see there. But that's it as far as active storms in our region right now. We do have storms beginning to fire west of us, though, back towards Nashville and even into even West Tennessee. We're seeing some storm activity. So, back towards Waverly and Huntington. So, it's going to be an active night. As far as our severe weather threat goes, the next probably 2 to 3 hours will be our prime window for potential severe weather. Once we get to about 10:30 or so, I think our severe weather threat will level off. But we will see additional showers and storms overnight. We just won't have that severe weather component with them. Very likely some very intense hail here approaching Cub Creek and approaching Gainsboro. So if you're in the Gainsboro area, you need to be indoors right now, away from windows. Not worried about a tornado with this, but you want to be away from windows because of that hail and wind threat. Wind-driven hail is not a good thing by any means. If you're watching us, though, I do appreciate y'all sharing the stream, especially on Facebook. I know a lot of people may not even be aware of what's going on right now. So it is very appreciated. A lot of you asking about different communities. Zach Smith, Crossville, question mark, question mark, question mark, question mark, question mark, question mark, question mark. Crossville is fine right now. We're not talking about Crossville because there's no active warning for Crossville right now. There is a severe thunderstorm watch in effect until midnight, but there's no imminent threat to Crossville at the moment. Y'all are fine. It's these areas that are in the yellow shaded polygons. These are the areas we are concerned about right now, and those are our focus at the moment. So that is the situation right now. Lynn, it is very appreciated. I know a few of you have donated, and some of you are patrons as well, and it is greatly appreciated. You can see there at the bottom of your screen the different ways you can support us. Again, all very much appreciated. This is what I do for a living, is Upper Cumberland weather. So again, if you want to support me and support our mission here and allow us to continue growing and doing bigger and better things, it is, again, all greatly appreciated. And those methods are there at the bottom of your screen. If you have a local business and you want to partner with us, you want to see your logo up there in the corner of the screen, or have a commercial running on our Upper Cumberland Weather channel, reach out to me. We would love to add you into our growing list of partners. Lexi says y'all need to chill and let them talk about places the warnings right now. Listen, I know questions come in from all over. People are joining at different times, so I don't mind it. Honestly, I'm only one person, so I'm not always looking at the chat anyway. So, and it's fine. It's humbling that so many of you want to ask questions, though. I view it as a humbling thing that some of y'all trust me with coverage here, and I try to deliver the best I can each and every time. Robert says, hello from RJ Painting in Baxter, one of our proud partners. Very appreciative of you. So very appreciative of all of you. So Salina, conditions are improving for y'all right now. I'm sure many of y'all are very thankful for that. As the storm begins to push east of you. Approaching Byrdstown now. So Byrdstown, just a heads up, this is heading your way. The strongest storm right now, though, would be here in northern Jackson County, approaching Gainsboro. With the potential for $half size hail right now over top of Cub Creek, just to your northwest. Take a look at our Skycam now in Gainesboro. You can see just a tremendous light show here. Lots of lightning embedded within this storm. Rain beginning to fall in Gainesboro right now, but the strongest of the storm activity is just here northwest over top of Cub Creek. And again, this is moving into Gainesboro. In a matter of minutes. So very likely some hail, potentially $half size, so bigger than a quarter. Could definitely do some damage to vehicles for sure, and also that potential for damaging wind gusts as well with this storm. Weather Service is calling this the strongest core they've seen all day. So this is the storm of the day so far as strength goes. Let's look at that Skycam again in Gainesboro. Just a tremendous amount of lightning with this, and again we do have hail embedded here, large hail, potentially damaging hail. And that is why we're hyper-focused on this cell in particular as it approaches the city of Gainesboro. For those who are in Red Bowling Springs, I'm not sure what the update is there, but conditions have greatly improved. Still some lightning in the area, but if y'all haven't already resumed play, y'all may be able to resume play here pretty soon. As far as the Jackson County, Clay County game goes, again, don't know what the latest is on that, but conditions have improved, but still a lot of lightning in the area, though, so that game will likely remain suspended for a while until that lightning threat passes. And then for Smith County, Livingston, I don't know, that game may be back in action again. We do have, looking at radar, a cell beginning to pop up here just to the east of Dixon Springs, approaching Pleasant Shade. We'll have to see if that grows into something larger. If it does, that could impact Carthage later on, but again, it's just a lot of wait and see if that were to grow into something more. Looking at something real quick here, if y'all don't mind. One second here. Okay. So for those just now tuning in or those wondering about different locations, again, here are our active severe thunderstorm warnings in the yellow polygon. Strongest storm right now being over top of Cub Creek approaching Gainesboro with the potential for $half size hail. Farther south, we don't have really much of anything going on from McMinnville to Spencer, Crossville. Jamestown, these storms are approaching you slowly but surely. I know York is playing. Last I heard, I think that game was in the fourth quarter, so that game will likely be able to finish if it hasn't already. But if you're in Allgood, if you're in Rickman, Livingston, these storms are moving your way. This warning was updated. Cookeville, you have been removed from the severe thunderstorm warning. The storm does look to go just north of you. May skirt the Overton County, Putnam County line as it moves towards Overton County. Again, strongest activity right now, again, in central and northern Jackson County, approaching Gainesboro. You can see in Gainesboro right now, our Skycam there, just a tremendous amount of lightning, almost pretty much continuous lightning occurring in Gainesboro right now with this storm. So very, very intense storm moving into Gainesboro right now. Wow, did y'all see that? Cloud to ground lightning strike right in front of us. This is why we stress getting indoors with these storms. This is very dangerous, potentially deadly lightning if you're caught outdoors in this. You need to be indoors inside a structure, not on a covered patio or covered porch or whatever. You need to be indoors, windows closed, doors closed, as the storm blows through. I would advise staying away from windows as well. As the storm rolls through. But again, live view right now from Gainesboro. These Skycams are awesome. Have totally transformed our coverage. And again, just a very intense storm we're watching here in Gainesboro. I really don't want to turn off this view right now. This is such a just intense, crazy view we're seeing right now in Gainesboro from this Skycam. This is probably the most lightning I've ever seen from this Skycam site. Gainesboro was our second camera site when we installed them back in 2022. And definitely one of the most intense storms I've seen from this camera since it's been up. Yeah, we're not worried about tornadoes tonight. Very, very low tornado risk this evening. It's more of a damaging wind and hail threat. So we'll go back to radar again. We do need to look at radar as we watch these storms continue to move towards the east. Movement has been towards the east at about 35 miles per hour, fairly consistently with this cluster. So not exactly slow moving, but not fast moving either. They're just moving. Let's look at our Byrdstown Skycam, one of our near Skycam sites. And while Byrdstown is not storming yet, you can definitely see a lot of lightning right now there in the distance. Okay. So Byrdstown, heads up, you are included in this severe thunderstorm warning. This is moving your way. And again, just a tremendous amount of lightning embedded in these storms. Another view we can look at, this site just went up very, very recently. This is Allen's. This is just north of Livingston. So while we don't have a site in Livingston proper, we have one right there at Livingston in Allen's. A very good site here. And again, the storm is over top of Allen's right now. Rain may let up momentarily, but then we'll pick back up again as the storm continues on through. Again, it's a tremendous amount of lightning we're seeing here. Torrential rain. Basically the same story we've seen across the board this evening. We'll zoom out the radar and let's actually take this full screen so I can give y'all a good wide view of what's happening here. So the strongest storms at the moment anywhere across Middle Tennessee are right here in the Upper Cumberland. We do have additional storms though back to our west here. One heavier storm approaching Nashville right now. That is moving east, so if it holds together, this could be impacting Smith County, DeKalb County later on, maybe Trousdale County. In fact, we can look at this from the Nashville Skycam site. See a tremendous amount of lightning. You see your shelf cloud there as this storm approaches downtown Nashville. And again, we're looking at this because this same storm will ultimately be moving into the upper Cumberland eventually if it holds together, and it very likely will, I would think. And actually, just in the last radar scan or two, we have a new storm beginning to develop just north of Carthage, near Tanglewood and Monaville. And already seeing lightning with this as well. In fact, let's pull up we'll do our Cordell Hull Dam Skycam, as we may be able to see some of the lightning from this Skycam view. And yeah, you can see the lightning there. So, again, don't know what the latest is on Smith County and Livingston, but again, we now have a new storm beginning to form just north of Carthage. So, this storm may intensify. It's kind of a wait and see game. Because we already have lightning, that tells me it is intensifying. So this could grow larger as it continues towards the southeast. So just a heads up. That'll delay a game pretty quickly. I do want to go back to our Gainesboro storm, as this pretty big hail core here moving into Gainesboro, extending down to Flynn's Lick. So pretty intense storm we have here. We can look at our Gainesboro tower cam again as this storm moves overhead. Again, not going to see a whole lot because it's dark. Actually may have lost power to this site, actually. So very, very intense storm. Very intense. We can go a little bit further south, though, to Center Grove, one of our newest sites that we have up. So Gainesboro is down right now. It looks like Center Grove might be down too. So we'll go to radar again. Again, as this moves into Gainesboro. So Gainesboro, again, same thing we've been saying. You need to be indoors right now. This is going to ride along. 56 here from Gainesboro to Center Grove and points east. So eastern Jackson County over to Dodson Branch. This is moving your way. So again, you want to be indoors right now and away from windows. Very intense storm approaching you, extending into northern Overton County, just north of Livingston, back into Hillham and Independence, Oakley, and moving into western areas of Pickett County towards Byrdstown. The storm in central Smith County continues to intensify just a bit. Right over top of Monaville and Tanglewood, just north of Carthage. It is producing lightning, as we saw moments ago from our tower cam site at the Cordell Hull Dam, or just near the dam anyway. BCA on YouTube says golf ball size hail in Jackson County. Is that in Gainesboro or near Gainesboro? So very intense storm here, again moving into Gainesboro right now, extending down into Flynn's Lick and back up towards Whitleyville and points east. Let's try something here. Let's see if we can get our Center Grove camera to pull up this way. And we're looking at a lot. All right. Okay, that's fine. This hail core continues to intensify as it approaches Gainesboro, right over top of Flynn's Lick, so would not be surprised if we're seeing, again, quarter size or even larger hail, maybe some golf ball size hail possibly. or $half size. Regardless, this might do some damage to some vehicles. Just a heads up. If you're east of here, if you're towards Dodson Branch, this is moving your way. This is definitely our most intense storm at the moment. Not to downplay the storms here in northwestern Overton County and to western Pickett County. These are strong as well, but definitely very intense storm here in Gainesboro right now as we speak. Another intensifying cell here near Defeated, moving towards Granville. Another cell popping up southeast of Hartsville. So we're seeing additional cells begin to pop up this way. Got a new severe thunderstorm warning. It's outside our viewing area, but over parts of Robertson, Davidson, and Cheatham counties. So this could be a long evening for us with off and on scattered severe storms. Not necessarily along a line or anything. Let's take a look at our Byrdstown camera site as the storm approaches Byrdstown. It's not in Byrdstown yet, but it is getting very close to you. Still a lot of lightning up this way. Storm not quite as intense. It is intense, but not as intense as we were seeing further west back towards Salina. But this is continuing to work its way east towards Byrdstown. Looking at radar again, Salina, it is raining again, but the severe activity has moved east of you. Still some lightning in the area. Red Bowling Springs, Lafayette, things have calmed down considerably for y'all. Could see additional cells later on, but right now y'all are fine. Our severe threat overall should begin to die down, I think, by around 10 to 11 p.m. or so. So this shouldn't be an overnight severe weather threat, which I'm sure is welcome news to many of you. So we'll zoom out the radar again. It does make it a little more challenging when we're not looking at necessarily a squall line or something. We're looking at multiple clusters of storms as far as ETAs and that sort of thing are concerned. Outside of the areas we can clearly see these storms are moving towards, like Byrdstown, even Jamestown, all good. Rickman, like we know y'all are likely going to be hit by these storms. But as for our southern areas, our western areas, again, it's just whatever these storms to the west decide to do. If we see the radar picture fill in some more, and it may very well be that that will be the case. But again, it is just all, it's really just a big waiting game right now. A lot of wait and see as to what will happen. But Gainesboro getting hammered right now with hail. I can tell you that. Dennis says, why isn't NOAA radio sounding the alarm? I'm not sure. Again, I don't know of any transmitters that are down right now that I'm aware of. If there is one down, again, I'm not aware of it. It could just be where your weather radio is located. Could be a signal issue. Vicky says large hail in the Flint-Zick area, which does verify with radar, very much so. Go back to Allen's, just north of Livingston. Taking a look at this storm as it approaches. There is a severe thunderstorm warning in effect up this way for another 5 minutes or so. Not sure if the Weather Service will elect to extend this warning or let it go. The storm has weakened somewhat. It's still strong. When I say it's weakened, I don't mean it ain't strong still. It is. We're still seeing a lot of lightning and heavy rain. It's just not as intense as it was earlier. Most intense storm, again, remains over Gainesboro right now, moving towards Dodson Branch. Adrian says huge hail in Gainesboro. Up to golf ball size hail possible with this storm in Gainesboro as it moves towards Dodson Branch. So you need to be indoors, away from windows. I would not be near a window right now until the storm passes. Very, very large hail, damaging hail will likely cause damage to vehicles. It's too late. If you're in Gainesboro, don't go outside to move your vehicle. It's too late. If you're in Dodson Branch, you've got minutes. I mean, you've got maybe a couple of minutes if you got a garage or something, but so the Weather Service is extending the severe thunderstorm warning farther east. So that answers that question. So now Jamestown, you are now under a severe thunderstorm warning for this activity to your west. This is a long duration warning in effect until 9:15 p.m. Central Time. So we are continuing with these severe thunderstorm warnings. Damaging winds in excess of 60 miles per hour and maybe some penny to nickel size hail possible with this. Strongest storm again at the moment continues to be over top of Gainesboro as it moves towards Dodson Branch. So Gainesboro, this storm is just about to clear you to the east. You got maybe a few more minutes of the hail as it shifts towards Dodson Branch. Storm might be intensifying just a bit near Midway, south of Byrdstown. So heads up Jamestown. It's heading your way. Take a look at our Skycam in Jamestown. And a lot of lightning there in the distance. Looking back towards the west, you can see the shelf cloud of the storm as it approaches. Storm's moving east at about 30 miles per hour, so it'll take some time to get to Jamestown. You've got maybe 20 minutes or so before this is to you, maybe even a half hour before the storm arrives to you. But in the meantime, you got a heck of a lightning show to your west. Strong storms extending down into Livingston, and then again back into Gainesboro. Approaching Dodson Branch, All Good, Highland, Allred, and Overton County, Shiloh, and then Jamestown. Got a few cells breaking out across northern Smith County. Not severe, but we'll watch them in case they intensify. We have some light to moderate showers breaking out from Hartsville down to Murfreesboro with a severe warned storm just north of the Nashville metro area from Ashland City over to Goodlettsville. Again, that's outside our viewing area, but it is something we'll keep an eye on. It appears we may be seeing some gaps filled in here. I will say the storm activity to our southwest has weakened quite a bit. We had several severe thunderstorm warnings over southwestern Middle Tennessee earlier, but these storms have mostly weakened. Just one stronger cell approaching Bradyville, southern Cannon County. But we have some heavier cells back lining up back across western Middle Tennessee, back into Huntington, Camden, just west of Dixon. Got a couple of advisories back that way, so we'll have to watch those cells as they continue east. I do think we'll likely see our severe threat still diminish once we get to about 10 to 11 o'clock or so. But we can still have a few stronger storms overnight, though. May have a little small hail or some gusty winds, lightning, rain, heavy rain. So we're just hanging out here this evening. Again, this is what we do when we have severe weather. We cover it live for as long as we need to be here. Certainly with this being a Friday evening when you've got high school football and other outdoor activities going on, certainly adds to the concern level that I have. Even though these are not tornado-producing storms, I'm not worried about tornadoes this evening. While a spin-up cannot completely be ruled out, we're just not in an environment for that. Now, you can get damaging wind gusts. I think we have seen a few instances of that this evening. We've seen power outages. We've seen down trees, that sort of thing. And, you know, damaging winds can mimic damage like you would see in a tornado. So, just per a Facebook post. Okay. Let me see if I can pull that up. So let's see. I will take your word for it. I'm trying to find the post you're talking about, but the Smith County Livingston game was called at halftime, and it appears play will resume tomorrow. So there you go. Power out in Gainesboro. Haley says it's getting worse in Gainesboro, picking up more. We do have additional cells back to your northwest in Gainesboro, so while the hail threat is moving on out, we do have additional cells beginning to line up here across northern Smith County to northwestern Jackson County. Got new cells popping up near Alexandria. So we'll just have to, again, just hang tight, stick with these storms. Let's go look at Jamestown again. Jamestown, you're about probably 20 minutes or so away from these storms arriving to you. and seeing quite a bit of lightning there in the distance. Livingston coming down pretty good right now for you as well. Heaviest storm activity right now in Jackson County would be south of Gainesboro near Helens. One of our partners there, you can see scrolling there on your screen, we actually just filmed a commercial for them. You'll see airing on our Upper Cumberland Weather Channel here soon. All that's approaching Dodson Branch. As we look at radar and zoom out here, again, just kind of a little bit of a mess here. Not a lot of organization except for these cells in Jackson, Overton, and Pickett counties. Outside of that, these other cells are not very well organized. But they are strengthening a bit, though, so we'll see if they do become more organized with time. Rebecca says my audio is going in and out. Is that the case for everyone, or is that the case for... I wonder if that's a YouTube issue. Let me know on Facebook and let me know on YouTube how the audio sounds. Again, we'll try to diagnose that. We do have two streams right now on YouTube. We have the Upper Cumberland Weather Channel feed, and then we have the Severe Weather feed. So a lot of you are saying the audio is fine on Facebook, and some are saying it's fine on YouTube. So it may be a localized issue. Maybe if you're watching over Bluetooth, could be a problem possibly. Now, I do pause every now and then. I read comments. I'm looking at different things. So that might be what you're picking up on. If you're getting a pause in audio, it may just be because I'm literally not talking. I don't have anyone to really bounce off of here. It's just myself. So just continuing to watch these storms right now. Do appreciate all of you tuning in right now. If you want to support us, those ways are at the bottom of your screen there. I'll put that full screen as well real quick. It is greatly appreciated. This is what I do for a living. To be available to y'all at any time of day or night for as long as I need to be for severe weather coverage as we continue to grow and expand. We do have an app coming out literally any day now. It's the latest from the developer. It has been delayed just a little bit, but as soon as it's out, we will let you know. It will be available on iPhone, Android, the App Store, Google Play. So it will be available wherever you have your device. You'll be able to download it and use it, and it'll be completely free of charge. And you'll have one of the best fully featured radar applications for sure on it for free, along with a lot of other goodies in it as well. So that is coming out for those who've asked. Justin says, hail hurts physically and emotionally. Yes, it does. Very much. If you get hit by it, obviously, ouch, that hurts. And then if you have damage from it, it can take an emotional toll. Hail is not fun at all. So these storms have slowed down somewhat, especially this Jackson County storm. I feel like it's taking its sweet time, moving out of Gainesboro into Dodson Branch. All good, got a cell just to your north. Again, the severe thunderstorm warning remains in effect until 8:45 p.m. and another severe thunderstorm warning for the Jamestown area, much of Fentress County included in this. This warning is in effect until 9:15 p.m. Central Time. So we still have a ways to go with these warnings, and we're continuing to see activity pop up. Got strong storms now flaring back up across northern Smith County, back into northwestern Jackson County. So these areas where we already had strong storms move through, now getting hit again. Just to add insult to injury up this way. Andrea says, anything heading towards Baxter? At the moment, no. There is some light rain back to your west, but we could see radar fill in with heavier activity. It's just a kind of a wait-and-see game right now. Jolene says, missed when you mentioned about the app. When will it be available? Any day now. That's really the update. Been a couple of minor delays with it, but it should be out very, very, very soon. I'll put out an update once it's out for everybody to go download again. It will be free, so there is that. Chloe says, how's it looking for Rickman? I do not like storms. Well, it's about to begin storming in Rickman here soon. In fact, we can look at our tower cam in Rickman. See quite a bit of lightning in the distance. Rain will begin shortly, and then the heavier activity is just west of that. So Rickman still have a little ways to go for the heavier storm activity, but we have some pretty heavy rain approaching probably within the next 5 minutes or so. The storm in Jackson County has weakened a bit, still seeing some signs of hail with it. Maybe still quarter-size hail possible, nickel to quarter size as it approaches Center Grove and Dodson Branch. But again, there's your live view right now from Rickman. Just a tremendous amount of lightning with these storms. These storms are super electrical. That's why I advise being indoors as they roll through. Again, I want to stress we're not worried about tornadoes tonight. I mean, you can never totally rule one out, but we're just not in an environment that supports tornadoes. This evening, just a damaging wind threat, large hail, very, very heavy torrential downpours, lots and lots of lightning. Ava says, update, pouring in Bangham. It's not just pouring, it is pouring. Double pouring. And as the Skycam updates there, I can agree with this. It is pouring. Very much so. It's one of our newest camera sites there in northern Putnam County. Take a look at this view. This would be our hail cores right now. That core there near McCoynsville, near Helens, approaching Dodson Branch, has weakened somewhat. Still likely some hail here, maybe nickel size in diameter. I don't think we're seeing golf ball size hail anymore. But another hail core beginning to develop near Haydenburg, though, so we'll have to watch that one in case it intensifies. Maybe some small hail near here to Gum Springs, Russell Hill, as far as southeastern Macon County. Maybe some pea-size hail near Defeated and Kempville, northeastern Smith County. Another hail core here, northwest of Jamestown. So maybe some dimes and pennies and some nickels there. Approaching Jamestown. We'll go back to our Jamestown Skycam site there. As the storm approaches. And again, you see the lightning there still illuminating the sky. Quite a bit of lightning embedded within this storm still. These are very, very electrical storms tonight. So we'll go back to radar. We'll go full screen here. The broad picture. So pretty intense storm still continuing. Now from southeastern Macon County, northeastern Smith County, on through Jackson County into Overton County, including Livingston, and now on into northwestern Fentress County, approaching Jamestown. Also some heavier storms here, western DeKalb County, approaching Smithville, extending back into Alexandria and Liberty. And just a lot of rain behind that, some heavier cells back towards Nashville and Goodlettsville, but strongest storms right now with the severe thunderstorm warnings continue to be for these cells extending from, again, south of Gainesboro into Dodson Branch and then on up into Fentress County for this pair of severe thunderstorm warnings. The southern warning is set to expire at 8:45, so we've got about 15 more minutes on this warning. And then this other warning, I believe, is in effect until 9:15. So we've got another 45 minutes on that one. It's a long duration warning. Unless the Weather Service decides to cancel these. These storms have produced some damage. North of Livingston, about 9 miles north of Livingston, trees and power lines reported down on a home from the storm that blew through. That's the same storm that's now moving into the Jamestown area. Take a look at that again from our Skycam there. Just a tremendous amount of lightning here. With this storm, again, severe thunderstorm warning remains in effect. Just a tremendous amount of lightning here. With this storm, again, severe thunderstorm warning remains in effect. Eastern Jackson County, including Gainesboro. Hail may not be as apparent here, which is certainly a good thing. Maybe some small hail at this point. Very torrential downpours, though, and frequent cloud of ground lightning still occurring here. Some gusty wind potential. Not quite sure this storm is still severe strength in terms of 60-mile-per-hour winds and quarter-size hail, but it is still very strong regardless as it moves into Dodson Branch and soon to extending into southwestern Overton County. Again, we have heavier cells back towards Center Hill Lake, to Alexandria, Liberty, approaching Smithville. So Cookeville, Baxter, you will likely see storm activity here soon. It is lining up back to your west. Nothing too terribly strong right now, but we will watch it in case any of this strengthens. If you're in Crossville, Spencer, you're just hanging out right now. There's nothing going on down this way, but you will get storms later on. I don't think you're going to escape them. You might, probably won't. But we'll just continue to watch all this activity again as it continues east. Looking at some of the comments now. Power's out in Gainesboro. A lot of y'all are without power right now from these storms. William says, I hate to be on a motorcycle right now. Yeah, I would not want to be on a motorcycle right now. I'd be finding the nearest dollar store. There's one every few miles and hunkering down. Bethany says it's not even raining once you get past Helens. That's true. Get down towards Center Grove and Shiloh, Nameless. It has not rained here, but it is coming. It's just about there. Your turn is coming. Let's look at Jamestown. Our sky cam there. The storm is over top of Jamestown now. Just torrential downpour coming down with this storm. It's a very, very heavy storm right now over top of Jamestown. So be indoors as this moves through. A lot of lightning embedded within this still. Again, as this moves into Jamestown. Deborah says extremely heavy rain in Jamestown right now. So Tracy says the second half of the Smith County versus Livingston football game has been postponed until tomorrow night at 7, no cost of admission. So there you go. For anybody curious about that game, smart decision. We have lightning in the area now, so and with the rain moving in, I don't think there was any way that the rest of that game was going to be played. So not sure about the other games going on. Jackson County, Clay County, and then Red Bull and Spring is also playing. Not sure what the status of those is. Someone may have commented earlier. I just didn't notice. But so the severe thunderstorm warning has been canceled and expired for Jackson, Overton, and Putnam counties. So no active severe thunderstorm warning here anymore. Still a strong storm. Very intense storm. A lot of lightning here, so we won't downplay that. But we're just not seeing those indicators of severe strength, 60-mile-per-hour winds or greater and quarter-size diameter hail or larger. We're not seeing that anymore. But still a fairly intense storm, so again, we'll continue to watch it as it moves east. Just kind of parked over Jackson County right now, so we may have to watch for localized flooding issues. That could become another threat if the storm continues to sit, especially over Gainesboro. We'll have to definitely watch for that. But overall, the only warning we have right now would be for much of Fentress County, including Jamestown. And we'll go back to our sky cam there. Got sideways rain in Jamestown right now. Some pretty gusty winds in Jamestown at the moment with the storm blowing through. See the trees there in the distance, how they are moving about. But if you're watching, you're down in Monterey, Sparta, Crossville, Spencer, very likely these storms will get to you. I don't know when, but they will. The good news is our severe threat should begin to decrease here in the next hour or two. Hopefully completely ending by maybe 11 p.m. or so for our eastern areas. Doesn't mean we won't have storms overnight. We will. But as far as severe weather goes, that threat will end. The storms we see overnight would just be kind of strong, maybe some heavy downpours, lightning, a little bit of wind, that sort of thing, but nothing we can't handle. Winds have really picked up in Jamestown at our tower campsite here. We've had a wind gust of 30 miles per hour in the last 30 seconds. Here, maybe even stronger than that. just eyeballing it. So very, very strong winds right now in Jamestown. Very, very intense storm in Jamestown, as we can see from our sky cam here. So severe thunderstorm warning remains in effect until 9:15 p.m. Central Time for central and eastern Fentress County. And again, very intense storm we're watching right now. So if you're east of Jamestown over towards Zenith and point south, you want to, again, be indoors. You probably already are. It's nighttime, but even still, be indoors until this passes. Again, very, very intense storm, as we can clearly see here from Jamestown from our sky cam here. So we're just going to stay on this view for a little bit while the storm is over top of Jamestown. Y'all don't mind me, I'm looking at a couple of things right now while y'all watch this. So wind is beginning to calm down just a bit now in Jamestown. So we'll go back to radar. Baxter, Cookeville, got some news for you. You've got storms moving in. Not severe, but these storms are intensifying, though. We're seeing the radar begin to fill in here. Western Putnam County and the northern DeKalb County. We'll take a look here at our Baxter Skycam site. We'll pull that up here in just a second and take a look at these storms as they approach. A lot of lightning here, as we can see, illuminating the sky. So Baxter, this is almost to you. It's on top of Gentry right now, and Boma, about to ride up I-40 and Highway 70 into Baxter, moving towards Cookeville. So Cookeville, here in the next maybe 20 minutes or so, it'll be your turn, more than likely. Not severe, but we are watching it, though. So I'm looking at the Weather Service chat. So the environment we're in, still supportive of strong storms. Cape values are trending downward, but still supportive of thunderstorms, some of which can still be strong to even briefly severe, with damaging winds continuing to be the main threat. So we could still see an additional severe storm or two over the next couple of hours. So we're not done. And again, damaging winds will continue to be the primary concern. Of course, severe thunderstorm watch remains in effect until midnight for all areas of the Upper Cumberland. And even our northwestern areas like Hartsville, Lafayette, as I believe the Putnam County EMA is controlling the camera right now, panning the skies. Let's go to radar again. Got some heavier cells approaching Gallatin, so this might be impacting Hartsville and Lafayette later on, so you might get another stronger storm here before too long. Strong storm activity extending from Whitleyville down into Gainesboro. Gainesboro just can't catch a break. It has been storming very heavily in Gainesboro for quite some time now, extending down into Baxter and the northern DeKalb County, and all that's continuing towards the east, towards Cookeville and Smithville as well. Got some heavier showers approaching you too. There's a lot of lightning embedded within these storms. We can see from Baxter right now. Very intense storm, a lot of lightning from Silver Point to Baxter, Gentry. Again, the same storm extends up into Gainesboro. Someone had mentioned once you get past Helen's heading south, it hadn't rained a drop, but depending on where you are, it is very much about to rain very heavily, very, very soon over to Center Grove and Shiloh. Your turn. You're the only area of Jackson County that really hasn't seen rain yet, but it is just about to you. We'll look at Cookeville. Live view from Cookeville right now. Give this a second to catch up. I don't know. There we go. That's the live view right now from Cookeville. Looking south towards Interstate Drive, towards I-40. We're just off Willow Avenue right now, looking south towards the interstate. You can see the cross there on the left-hand side of your screen. You can see a little bit of lightning there, illuminating the sky. Illuminating the sky. Not much to see right now. Baxter is where your primary view would be right now with the storm approaching right now. So the only active severe thunderstorm warning we have at the moment would be for this storm over top of Jamestown, moving into eastern areas of Fentress County. Still a fairly strong storm, a lot of lightning still being detected up this way. Torrential downpour over top of Jamestown. Not sure our winds are quite to severe strength with this right now. Wind gusts have peaked at about 30 miles per hour in Jamestown proper with this storm, which is not quite severe strength. Still strong, but not quite severe. The warning itself is set to expire in about 28 minutes at 9:15. We'll see if the Weather Service continues that or if they decide to cancel it early, just based on our radar trends and what we're seeing right now from our Skycam there. Looks like our Gainesboro camera may be back online, so we'll take a look at that with the storm continuing to sit over top of Gainesboro. Still seeing a lot of lightning being detected up this way, as we can see again on this Skycam view from Gainesboro right now. Not a severe storm, but a lot of heavy rain though. We've already had a lot of rain up this way. So very intense storm. According to radar estimates, northern portions of Jackson County has seen as much as 2 to 2.5 inches of rainfall just with this storm. Also, same for McCoynsville over to Morrison Creek. Gainesboro's seen about 1 inch to 1.5 inches. And again, this is according to radar, so your rain gauge may show a little bit more rain than this, but still quite a bit of rain, and it's still continuing to come down. So we may have to watch for localized flooding issues here in Jackson County. Y'all have definitely won the rain lottery tonight. In fact, I'll show y'all here. May have a hard time seeing that on screen, but Here are the lighter greens. This is about a ½ inch to almost an inch here in northwestern Overton County. About an inch and a half here in southern Clay County. But if you get into northeastern Clay County over Dale Hollow Lake, no rain at all. There's some ½ inch or so rainfall amounts up to an inch here in eastern Macon County, maybe an inch and a half here southeastern Macon County. Of course, your heaviest rainfall amounts again near Whitleyville and then just south of Gainesboro, where we've seen anywhere from 2 to maybe even nearly 3 inches of rain, and still unfortunately coming down. So while we have needed the rain, we don't want too much of it in one sitting, that's for sure. But we're just hanging out here tonight. We'll stay live for a little while longer, even if this warning has expired. We'll still hang out here for a little bit anyway, just until we're sure the severe threat is diminishing. We're not totally done yet. These storms have intensified, again, west of Cookeville. Not severe, but still fairly strong and pretty intense. We can pull up our Baxter Skycam again. The storm is right over top of Baxter as we speak. And again, still a tremendous amount of lightning here. Joseph Center Grove still dry. That's probably changing right now as we speak. It's finally there, or it will be in a matter of moments depending on where you are in Center Grove. But it is almost there. I do remind you, if you want to support what we're doing here, all the different ways are there at the bottom of your screen. A few of you have donated tonight, and it is greatly, greatly appreciated. Again, this is what I do for a living now, and a lot of work going on behind the scenes to improve Upper Cumberland weather, make it better. Of course, the app is coming out any day now. Once it's out, I'll announce it. I was hoping to have it out end of August. There's been a couple of minor delays with it, but we will. It will be out very soon. It'll be free to download. Working on some very, very huge improvements to the Upper Cumberland Weather Channel that streams 24/7. We've already debuted part of the new look, testing it right now, but it'll also be extending over to our programming, and will eventually extend over into our severe weather coverage as well. You're seeing a little bit of that right now. Got a new graphic there for Baxter and our tower cams, but this isn't totally developed yet. Just using it right now because it's convenient, because I'm already working on it right now. But all that's going on behind the scenes, just a lot of different things working on. And of course, severe weather coverage always takes priority. Doesn't matter what time of day or not it is, I'm always here. And again, just want to continue growing this thing, making it better, investing in new hardware, all that good stuff. So again, if you want to support us, again, those ways are at the bottom of your screen there. I'll shout out Patreon. Patreon's really cool because we have different tier levels now for supporting us. So you actually get something in return. It's a monthly subscription service, but it can be whatever you want it to be. It could be $1, it could be $5, it could be $35, whatever you want to do. And there are different tier levels associated with that, with lots of different perks involved. We do have a monthly giveaway now, exclusive just to our Patreon. It is free. It is free. If you're, you can be a free member, non-paying member, and you do get one entry into that. But if you are a paying member, you do get additional entries. And we also have our T-shirt club there. Our first shirts will go out next month. And we have our movie night, dinner and movie night at our studio every other month for the highest tier level. So different things to check out there. Again, that's Patreon, just shouting that out. But if you don't want the perks, you just want to support what we're doing one time or whatever, again, there are different ways there at the bottom of your screen as we watch this very intense storm over Baxter, and the camera has cut out. So may have lost power there with this storm as it continues to intensify. I'm going to have to watch this closely, getting a little bit of a Boeing segment going now with this storm as it approaches Cookeville. So we'll have to watch that closely. As it moves into the Cookeville area. Take a look at our Cookeville sky cam here in just a moment and see what's happening there with this storm. We'll get that pulled up here in just a moment. So let's pull that up now. This is a live view from Cookeville. You can see the lightning there, illuminating the sky. We're looking south. Here in just a second, though, we'll move the camera towards the west and get a better view of the storm as it approaches. So there goes the camera. This is looking more towards the southwest now. And again, intense storm approaching Cookeville right now. It is strengthening somewhat. So like I said, we're not done yet by any means, even though we've had kind of a lull. I am seeing signs of at least some small hail from Baxter and especially down towards Silver Point. Might have some dime to nickel size hail towards Silver Point, maybe some pea size hail up into Baxter, Bloomington Springs, Boma. Continue to see more and more lightning and torrential rain. So this is an intensifying storm. We'll have to watch very closely as it moves into the Cookeville area. So just a heads up, Cookeville, this is moving your way. Of course, we're still dealing with the heavy storm over eastern Fentress County now, approaching zenith. Don't think, even though we have the warning in effect still technically till 9:15, I do think that storm is weakening somewhat. The Weather Service out of Morristown has put an advisory on it for Oneida and Huntsville over in Scott County for wind gusts up to 50 miles per hour. So that would be a step down from a severe thunderstorm warning. Weather Service in Nashville is, at the moment, continuing the warning till 9:15, but we'll see if that remains the case or if they drop it entirely before then. They may keep it in effect just in case it intensifies again. Baxter, storming very heavily right now. Bloomington Springs up into Center Grove, into eastern Jackson County, on into southern Clay County. Don't want to ignore y'all. Salina getting a pretty good downpour again. So it remains a very active night here across the Upper Cumberland. With storms beginning to intensify once again. The storm moving into Dodson Branch right now. Again, northern Putnam County into western Putnam County. We're not worried about tornadoes tonight, though. I want to stress that. Now, damaging straight line winds is a concern, but we're not worried about tornadoes. It's very, very, very low risk. Very low risk. If one did form, very likely it would be weak and short-lived. But again, not too terribly worried about that tonight. We're just not in that kind of environment this evening. But this environment is favorable for damaging straight-line winds and hail, as well as a copious amount of lightning. Pretty much non-stop lightning, as we are clearly seeing here in Cookeville as the storm approaches. Just sitting on top of Baxter right now, down into Silver Point. We'll take a look at our Burgess Falls road camera. It's not daytime there. It is very much nighttime and very much storming, as we can see here. From this view. Not raining here yet, but it is getting closer. And again, there's a tremendous amount of lightning we're seeing from this viewpoint. Let's look at Monterey. And again, not daytime anymore. So we'll let this load the latest image from Monterey. There we go. You can see the storms there in the distance. A lot of lightning there in the distance. Heck of a lightning show we can see with these storms off in the distance. Got a new advisory coming out, just issued by the Weather Service. So this is a step below a severe thunderstorm warning. And we'll show this to you on radar. This is for most of Putnam County, from Baxter to Cookeville to Monterey, north to Allgood, on into southwestern Overton County, including Rickman, Union Hill, and then back into southeastern Jackson County, including Center Grove. But this advisory mentions the potential for wind gusts up to 40 miles per hour and pea-sized hail. So the storm is intensifying. We now have an advisory with it. We'll have to watch it closely in case it intensifies even more and prompts a severe thunderstorm warning. But as of right now, someone asked about super chats on YouTube. I'm going to be honest with you. That is something we literally just enabled not that long ago. So I really don't know how it works yet, because I think I've only gotten one so far. We've just not had severe weather since I've enabled that. So I'll be honest with you, I don't know. But there are other ways, though. If you want to support us and you don't want to do it that way, there are other ways. Facebook also takes a cut too. That's why I've kind of strayed away from that. Patreon's really good because, again, that's only if you want to do the recurring thing, but I'm on the Founders Plan. We've actually had that Patreon account since 2017 or 18, I think. So we've been grandfathered into their plan that only takes out a very, very small percentage. So that's definitely one of the best ways. Or Venmo, PayPal, those options exist as well. And pretty much any digital platform, it's, there is going to be a little bit of a cut. But yes, the super chats, I should be getting that. I hope. It is enabled. It's just not something we've really looked at before. So the severe thunderstorm watch does remain in effect for our entire region, as you can see at the bottom of your screen there. But at the moment, we have no active warning. So the warning for Fentress County was canceled early. That said, we do have a very intense storm sitting here in western Putnam County, over top of Baxter, up towards Oakdale and Dodson Branch. This is moving towards southwestern portions of Overton County, as well as much of Putnam County, including Cookeville, Allgood, Monterey. So y'all will be getting a piece of this. The storm has intensified quite a bit. So let's look at it again from let's look at the Monterey Skycam side again. Even though Monterey is still a pretty good distance away from the storm, we can get a pretty good wide view of the storm off in the distance. Just a tremendous amount of lightning. Very electrical storm we have here this evening. Soon to move into Cookeville. Northwest side of Cookeville near Tech is getting some light rain right now, but the heavier activity back to your west in Baxter. I know these storms are, again, super intense, even without the warnings. The lightning itself, the National Weather Service does not issue warnings based on lightning. But it's loud. The thunder is very loud, I'm sure, very disturbing. And again, one of the many reasons we're still live right now, even though we have no active warnings. I know it's getting late, and many of you deal with storm anxiety, and that's why we're here, to walk y'all through all of that. James says so much lightning. So, ton of lightning with this storm moving into Cookeville. It continues to strengthen from what I can see on radar. So, hail core becoming more pronounced too. I'll show you that on radar. We might get a warning on this one. I'm not going to predict what the Weather Service will do here, but this storm has definitely intensified quite a bit. So if you're in Cookeville, just a heads up, this is a very intense storm moving your way. Same for Allgood and point south. I would not want to get on I-40 right now, especially if you're in Monterey. I wouldn't get on I-40 and head west right now, because you're going to be driving into a very, very intense storm. Very intense. Of course, just sitting over top of Baxter right now. Bloomington Springs, Gentry, Buffalo Valley, Silver Point. Not so bad at Silver Point right now, just lightning down your way. Rain isn't quite as intense, but definitely Baxter getting hammered right now. Boma, Westgate, and this is moving into the Cookeville area. So, again, would not be surprised if we get a warning on that one just because it is intensifying. Someone mentioned White County, so we'll look at White County real quick. We do have some storms down this way, extending down to Van Buren County. We don't want to ignore y'all down here. These aren't severe, but some pretty good downpours here, maybe some lightning approaching Spencer. We do have a new Skycam site in southern White County over in Doyle, or near Doyle. You can see some lightning there illuminating the trees and the sky there in Doyle, southern White County with the storm that's approaching, y'all. So there's your wide view. Another newer Skycam site in McMinnville. Pretty good view there, looking southwest. Glad to finally have a Skycam site there. Nothing happening in McMinnville though. We'll watch the storms back to the west, but as of right now, no. Nothing is posing a threat to McMinnville at the moment. But Cookeville, just waiting for this storm to arrive to you. It's very, very close. It'll be into downtown Cookeville shortly. We can look at our Cookeville Skycam. This is located on the EMA tower, just off Willow Avenue, north of the interstate. And right now we're looking southwest at this storm. It does appear we have some hail embedded here. The advisory calls for the potential of pea-size hail, but honestly, from what I can see, we may be seeing larger hail than that near Baxter, approaching Cookeville. So we'll just see about that. But right now, very intense storm beginning, closing in on Cookeville. So the north end of Cookeville right now, near the hospital, Tech getting the heaviest rain. This will be closing in on southern areas along Interstate Drive here soon. Approaching Allgood and 111, down back towards the interstate. Likely some hail here near Baxter, between Baxter and Cookeville. And just a tremendous amount of lightning embedded in these storms. Let's take a look at our Skycam in Bangham. This is northern Putnam County. Just a tremendous amount of lightning here. With this storm, very electrical storms this evening. Someone mentioned updates for I-40. West of Cookeville, not fun to drive in. Have a ball team of families heading back to Livingston. So you're probably talking about the game that was in Smith County. So from Gordonsville to about Silver Point, it's just some light rain right now. But as you approach Baxter and into Cookeville, you get into a big mess. Just very torrential rain, hail, lightning. But east of Cookeville, not so bad. Now 111 is about to get hammered as well. So basically from Baxter on up to Livingston, that entire way is not going to be a good drive at all. Just take it very slow and easy, or even pull off and just kind of let this pass. Maybe pull off at the truck stop or something to Baxter and just, let this pass. Wait an hour or so, just because this is not going to be ideal to drive in by any means, especially for a bus. More so worried about the bus, but definitely want to be careful there. Ashley says hail in Baxter. Again, I want to stress we have no active warnings right now, but we do have a pretty strong storm approaching Cookeville. That's why we're focused on this one. The Weather Service has put out an advisory for this. They step below a severe thunderstorm warning. That's why your weather radio or your smartphone didn't go off for it, because it's not a warning, but they mentioned the potential for 40-mile-per-hour wind gust and pea-size hail. I think the hail may be larger than pea-size, though, based on radar. Maybe some dimes, pennies, maybe some nickels in here. Moving into Cookeville right now. So, again, we'll see what the Weather Service decides to do on this because the storm is intensifying. Perhaps they'll go with a warning on this. I don't know. We could try. Somebody asked about the Baxter camera. We'll try to pull it up again. It did go down briefly. I think it's back though. Let's take a look. Yeah, I think it's back now. Just a intense storm over Baxter. It'll continue to rain pretty heavily for at least a little while before rain finally backs off a bit. Being a very intense storm over Baxter, and this is moving into Cookeville. And just it's just almost continuous lightning, nonstop lightning. With these storms. Just one of the reasons we're still live, even though we have no warnings in effect right now. I know the lightning itself is very unsettling, especially when it's continuous like this. I've got nothing else to do tonight. So, do have a game I'm going to tomorrow. Heading east. But we'll be all right. Speaking of tomorrow, while y'all watch this, I'm going to take a look at the future radar and see what the latest is. We expect scattered showers and storms to continue overnight. Not expecting severe weather overnight, but we may see a few heavier downpours. And it does appear tomorrow we'll see additional showers and storms roll through, with maybe some light showers continuing into the afternoon hours. So if you got plans tomorrow, just a heads up, it could be a bit soggy in the morning and maybe off and on wet, at least into the early afternoon hours. So not expecting severe weather tomorrow. It will be cooler, though, so be ready for that. Highs only in the lower 70s. So Adrian asked, any more storms coming tonight? And yes, we could see additional showers and storms, but as far as severe weather goes, I think here in the next hour or so, our severe threat should diminish. I won't call it zero, but it will be very, very low. And even now, we're not seeing any active warnings, so that's certainly good. Although this storm in Baxter moving into Cookeville right now is very, very intense. In fact, let's go back to our Cookeville Skycam view at the storm over top of Cookeville. As we continue to watch this. And just a very intense storm. just continuing to get worse in Cookeville right now. Strong winds, of course, intense lightning, hail, all moving into Cookeville right now as we speak. Same for Allgood. So there's your view right now from Cookeville, looking south. And again, just a very intense storm. Let's look at Monterey again. Monterey, it's not storming there, but you can definitely see the lightning off in the distance looking west. Very intense lightning show. You can see your storm clouds there off in the distance too. And all this is moving towards Monterey. It will be to you eventually. These storms are in no hurry though. So again, that's your live view from Monterey. Back to radar again. Heaviest activity, really you could say, is along Highway 111 from just south of Spencer, approaching Sparta, of course on up into Cookeville, Allgood, and now approaching Livingston with additional heavier cells here east of Jamestown, moving into Scott County. Sparta, Allgood, now approaching heavier cells here east of Jamestown, moving into Scott County. That cell is weakened quite a bit, though. It was severe warned earlier. This cell in Cookeville has intensified quite a bit, prompting the Weather Service to issue an advisory on it for 40-mile-per-hour wind gusts and pea-size hail. Still seeing a pretty decent hail core here, especially on the north side of Cookeville, and then also west of Cookeville, just east of Baxter. So we'll have to watch that. Twyla on Facebook asking about rotation. I did look just a short while ago. I'm not seeing any signs of rotation. It's not not something we're worried about tonight as far as tornadoes are concerned, and did not see any rotation either. So just an intense storm. Some gusty winds, of course, a tremendous amount of lightning and hail, but again, thankfully not a suitable environment for tornadic development, and we're very thankful for that. Of course, early September is kind of an unusual time for tornadoes anyway. It's just not something that normally happens this time of year. It can happen. It has happened, but it's rare. And normally, if we have a tornado this time of year, it would be associated with like a tropical system, like the remnants of a hurricane or tropical storm rolling through. There are exceptions to that. So that's not the rule, but it is very rare. Now, we have had some wind damage tonight. Of course, lots of power outages here and there. But nothing tornadic. Now, could we have had a random spin up somewhere? It's certainly possible. I don't think that's the case right now. Maybe earlier in the night, maybe. In the chaos of everything, it's not 100% out of the question, but again, not something we're worried about right now. Pictures of folks holding golf ball size hail pieces in Cookeville. Tracy, can you tell me where you're seeing those at? If you don't mind, because that definitely needs to be reported to the Weather Service. Mike asked about the app. I talked about that earlier. It's not out yet. It's just been delayed just a little bit, but it should be out very, very, very soon. I'll let y'all know when it is out. It's just kind of out of my hands, but it is coming though. It will be out, and it will be free. iPhone, Android devices, and very much looking forward to it. Certainly will be very handy on nights like these. We have active storms rolling through. You'll be able to watch our coverage right from the app. So very much looking forward to that. Let's take a look at our Cookeville sky cam again. As the storm rolls on overhead. Still raining heavily right now. Not seeing as much lightning in the Cookeville area. Still a lot of lightning, but maybe not as continuous as we were seeing earlier. Let's look at Monterey and get kind of a wide view of these storms. Monterey is to the east of all of this, and actually that tower campsite might be down right now. So we'll just go back to radar then. We'll take a look from Rickman. Live view from Rickman, southwestern Overton County. The storm is approaching you as well. Kind of the same deal, still some lightning, maybe not as continuous. Well, I don't know, I'll take that back. It's still pretty continuous here. Heaviest activity is shifting more into northern Putnam County at this point between Cookeville and Allgood, and now on up into Rickman, and even extending up into Livingston now. So Livingston also getting some pretty heavy storm activity now at this point. Got a few isolated heavier cells across Macon County and western Clay County. Some light rain right now across Smith County and DeKalb County. Heavier cell here east of Sparta, as well as down towards Spencer. All that's moving east. So Crossville, y'all haven't had really much of anything tonight, but hey, your turn might be coming finally. We may finally get some storms down this way here before too long. So there's that. Again, no active warnings right now. We haven't had any active warnings for about 15 minutes or so. The warning for Fentress County was allowed to expire early, and we continue to see an intense storm over Cookeville right now. But again, it is not severe at the moment. If we go much longer without any active warnings, I may sign off from coverage. We can handle these storms. Don't get me wrong. We can absolutely handle these. But again, I know a lot of y'all deal with storm anxiety. Certainly the lightning is unsettling, so I don't mind being here for as long as we need to be. But if it does get to a certain point, we've gone a while without warnings, you know, and the general trend continues to be towards storms not becoming quite to severe strength, we'll probably be at a good spot where I can sign off. But we'll wait a little longer, though, on that. All y'all saying thanks. I certainly appreciate y'all. Appreciate you tuning in and trusting me here. This is what we do here. We've been doing it for a long time now. We just celebrated. I say celebrate. There wasn't really a celebration, but 13 years on September 2nd since I started all of this. It was known as Smith County Weather back then, covering my hometown. area I grew up in, and it was just meant for friends and family. I never really intended for it to take off or anything. It was kind of more of an experiment than anything, just post weather updates, but it quickly took off and took on a life of its own, and within a year we had 1,000 followers, which blew my mind. And well, here we are all these years later. We rebranded as Upper Cumberland Weather in 2017, and it has just continued to take off ever since then. So now we're over 67,000 followers strong on Facebook, and a bunch more on other platforms. May hit 10,000 subscribers on YouTube before too long. It's pretty cool. We have a live 24/7 weather network now that airs. Find it on YouTube and Roku, the Hub Plus app, and soon to be in our upcoming smartphone app. We got an app coming out, and just a lot of things happening. It's really grown into something far beyond what I ever imagined it could be, and continues to grow. And who knows where all we can take it. Mark says there are lots of hail in these storms. Yes. Lots of hail tonight. A lot more hail than we expected, that's for sure. Let's see. All right, let's see here. It's the view from Rickman right now. Let's look at our Monterey camera again. It went offline there for a minute, but it may be back now. Storm still hasn't quite gotten to Monterey yet, but it is very, very close, closely approaching y'all. It's just a few miles to your west. Conditions have calmed down considerably for most of Cookeville. Just some light rain now and lightning. Still a tremendous amount of lightning embedded in this storm. It extends northward up into Livingston. A lot of heavy rain across southwestern Overton County into central Overton County. Storm remains fairly intense. Look at radar again. This is eastern White County. Storm is beginning to intensify just a bit as it approaches Cumberland County, so we'll have to keep an eye on that in case it intensifies further. Deborah says the golf ball size hail was in Gainesboro. And yes, we did have golf ball size hail there. Logan says, is it storming where I'm at? We have avoided most of it. I'm in northern Smith County, and it has stormed a bit here. I've heard some thunder, but we've, I guess you could say, lucked out on this one. Probably a good thing. I have power right now, so that's always a good thing. I do have contingency plans in place if we lose power, and but yeah, we're good. Man, I wish I had the Monterey camera pulled up just then. I got it on another screen over here. Let's go full screen with that. We got a lot of lightning here. We had some cloud to ground lightning a few seconds ago y'all didn't see. But yeah, we've been good here. Just some light rain where I'm at. Now we do have some heavier cells back west of Nashville. Still continuing to build out that way. That may spread east towards us overnight. But the severe concerns at this point are fading. Not over with, but fading. And will only continue to fade as we go through the rest of the night. So I think here in the next hour or so, that'll probably be it as far as severe weather goes. Now we may still have a few stronger storms like we're seeing right now. Lightning, hail, gusty winds. But as far as anything that's, that meets severe criteria for a severe thunderstorm warning, hopefully we will be getting past that threat here soon. But that's not to say these storms we're seeing now aren't strong. They very much are. Lots of lightning, as we can clearly see from Monterey right now. as the storm is getting much closer to Monterey than it was earlier. But again, there's your view right now at radar. Strong storms extending across northeastern Van Buren County into eastern White County, eastern and northern Putnam County, much of central and western Overton County, and then some isolated heavier cells back into Jackson County, Clay, Macon counties, also eastern Fentress County. That storm has weakened quite a bit there east of Jamestown. So that's about it, other than these storms west of Nashville. Pretty intense, but not severe. As we're coming up on almost a half hour since we last had any active warnings. So good news on that front as well. Looking at some of your comments now. Lori, that's a great question on YouTube. Asked, are the storms in Nashville heading toward the Cookeville area? I don't know what these storms are going to do. I'll just be honest with you. They may hold together and impact us later on tonight. They may dissipate. I don't know yet. That's for any area of the Upper Cumberland. I don't know. Intuition is they probably will hold together in some form and at least bring some rain. Maybe they may hold on tonight. They dissipate. Of the Upper Cumberland. No. In some form and rain, maybe lightning to us. I think the severe concern with these will be very low, if not almost zero. Not quite zero, but almost zero. So I'm not worried about these. But whether or not they actually impact us, I'm not sure. The storms we have now, again, remain intense, but not severe. I think what we're going to do is this. It's 9:30 right now. If we make it to about 9:45 without any warnings being issued, I'll probably sign off. We'll have gone well over a half hour at that point without any active warnings, and there's really no reason for me to be live for any of this right now. I'm just doing it more as a courtesy, you know, just to be here, you know, talk through them. But again, we're getting to a point now where the severe threat is definitely diminishing. It's not over with, but it is diminishing. Of course, damaging winds still being the concern if we do have a severe storm. Which brings me to the M. Cook on YouTube. Is there a tornado threat? I'm not going to say no, but it is extremely low. Extremely low, and it's getting even lower. That said, these storms do have a lot of wind. Not severe strength wind, but wind. Ton of lightning. Very heavy rain. I'm seeing now the hail pictures. I don't have a good way of showing y'all these out of Gainesboro, but yeah, that is some massive hail we had in Gainesboro earlier. Huge hail. Definitely golf ball size, maybe even slightly larger. Wow. Of course, that storm has since moved on, but that was about an hour and a half ago in Gainesboro. Had some very significant hail, so wouldn't be surprised if we have some damage reports from that. Some windshields busted and dented vehicles and such. But we'll hang out here another 10 minutes or so, and then we'll probably sign off at that point. I'll be around a bit longer. But that said, we're just at a point now where, we can handle these storms. They're not anything we can't handle. Let's look at Midway. This is southwestern Cumberland County, another one of our new sky cams we have. Another vantage point here of the storm as it approaches Cumberland County, the storm coming out of Van Buren and White counties. Not severe, but same story as we've seen in Putnam County and elsewhere, just very intense with a lot of lightning and heavy rain, some small hail embedded here. Lisa says, when do I think these storms will be over with? Tomorrow. Literally, tomorrow. We'll likely have a break sometime tonight. We'll get these storms on out of here. We may see scattered showers of storms at least through the early overnight period. Then we may see a lull, and then more storms probably in the morning, and then gradually tapering off as we go through the afternoon hours. But we're not expecting any severe weather overnight or tomorrow. In fact, tomorrow is going to be much cooler. We got a cold front coming through now. That's helping get these storms going. But once that passes, we'll still have storms behind the front, but we won't have the severe threat with them. But we'll do a wide view of radar. I'll put this in motion over the last couple of hours. You can see how these storms have moved along. Let's see, when does this start? This goes back to actually 1 o'clock this afternoon. So this is a very long radar loop here. We had a few isolated storms this afternoon. And then once we got to about 7 o'clock or so, storms really began to get going across our northwestern areas and have just continued onward from there. So those first storms started impacting Macon County about 6:30 or so. And again, these storms have just continued onward from there. So it's been a very rowdy evening. And I still have storms firing west of Nashville. Again, not worried about those presenting a severe threat to us. They're not severe right now. But they may bring some additional lightning, maybe some gusty winds later on this evening to our region. But as far as severe weather worries go, that threat is continuing to diminish. So for those in Crossville, these storms are getting closer to you. And they'll be knocking on your door probably in the next 15 to 20 minutes. Again, appreciative of all of you watching right now. We have over 300 of you watching on YouTube, and then I'm not sure how many are on Facebook right now. I like that more people are finding the YouTube, though. I do think it's the better option than Facebook. In fact, we have more people. This might be a first. I think we have more people watching on YouTube right now than we do Facebook, and I don't think that has ever happened before that I know of. So, which is awesome, but it also means Facebook, I don't know. I have a love-hate relationship with Facebook, mostly hate. I love y'all, but as a platform, I'm not a big fan of it. And yeah. But awesome that we have that many watching on YouTube. I don't know how many are watching on X right now, but appreciate y'all as well. And of course, we also have Hub Plus on Roku. So if you have a Roku device, which most of you probably do, you can find us by searching for Hub Plus. That's managed by Cookeville Communications. Lots of great content there in addition to our channel, but you can find our channel on there. Just download the app, scroll over a few screens, and you'll find Upper Cumberland weather. And our channel streams 24/7, so you can always find us there. Tanner says YouTube is more delayed. I think it may be. It depends on which stream you're watching. If you're watching the severe weather stream, I have two streams going on YouTube right now. I have our main channel feed that's 24/7, and then I have a special feed right now just for the severe weather coverage. If you're watching the main channel feed, which our coverage is on right now too, that's probably got the least delay, I would think, because that's going straight to YouTube. It's not going through a third party like the other streams are in order to get those out. So YouTube, the channel feed's probably the least delayed right now. That is the one aggravating part about streaming is the delay. And it's different for everybody. Some people's delay might be 10 seconds, others might be 20 or 30 seconds, and some people might be a minute or a minute and a half behind. And I have no idea of knowing how far behind you are on your stream. It's just a localized thing depending on buffering, and if you accidentally pause it for a second or two and not realize it. Again, those are all things that are outside of my control. The Weather Service wants to keep me busy, though. We have a new advisory that's been issued. New advisory for this storm segment that's coming out of White County up into Putnam and even Overton counties. So you can see this gray polygon here extending from southeastern Overton County into southern Fentress County and throughout much of Cumberland County. The Weather Service with this advisory mentions the potential for wind gusts up to 40 miles per hour and pea-sized hail. So these storms are still trucking. They're not giving up yet. Not severe. This is a step below a warning. But those from Grimsley down the Clark Range and Crossville, Bowman, again, just a heads up, this is heading your way as we've been watching. Let's go to that Midway camera again, the southwestern Cumberland County. These storms are getting closer to y'all. And we can see still quite a bit of lightning down this way. Let's see, is Monterey back up? I think Monterey's still down. Let's look at Crossville. And it's sunny in Crossville right now. No, it's not. It's we'll give this a second to load the latest image here in Crossville. Come on. Come on. Tell you what, let's look at radar. I'll watch that over here. And then when that loads, I'll go back to that camera. Actually, still not loading. Let's look at Clark Range. I'll pull up Clark Range here in just a second. As soon as we get that one to load. Well, I think this computer I'm using for that is not wanting to cooperate. I can pull it up on here. Let's do it on here. We'll use our old graphics. There we go. So there's the live view right now from Clark Range. You can see the lightning there. Quite a bit of lightning still with this storm. Again, 40 mile per hour wind gusts and pea-sized hail are possible as the storm approaches Grimsley, Clark Range, Bowman, Crossville. It's now over top of Pleasant Hill in western Cumberland County, approaching Midway. So most of Cumberland County will get a piece of this over the next half hour or so. Same for southern areas of Fentress County. Jamestown, this will be round 2 for you. We've already seen a severe warning storm roll through Jamestown earlier, and this will be, again, your second round. But this is not severe this time, thankfully. Back to radar we go. You can see your advisory there in the gray shaded polygon. And your hefty line of storms extending from along the White County, Cumberland County line to far eastern Putnam County, just east of Monterey, up there Mineral Springs, and taking over much of Overton County. And even some heavier cells now up into southern Clay County, back just northwest of Salina. So still not quite done yet, but these storms are not severe. They're just very, very strong. Still have some strong storm cells back to the west of Nashville, not severe. Probably won't become severe. Mary on YouTube asks about the app. I'm ready for it too. Very excited for it. It's just had a couple of minor delays, but it will be out very, very, very soon. Possibly any day now. Just a couple of things that need to be cleared with it, but it'll be out again very soon. And of course, I'll let y'all know as soon as it is. But yeah, very much looking forward to it. It will be free to download, free to use, no subscriptions or anything. It won't be bogged down with ads. Now, I am trying to get a couple of premier partnerships established with it. So when you open the app, you'll see those on the splash screen, and then they'll be embedded in the app. Very tastefully, though. Won't be in your face or anything. I hate apps that do that, and we're not going to do that with ours. So I want to keep it very simple, but still very, very exclusive, though, if you are those premier partners. Very, very much worth what you're spending for that. But especially for the sheer volume of people that will be downloading this app. I have no doubt it'll quickly go on to become the most popular app in the region, especially for what all it will do and all the features that it will eventually have, not just at launch, but that are coming as well. It will eventually do it all. I mean, when I say do it all, I mean it will do it all. But even the stuff that we'll have at launch, there's just some things that no other free weather app has. So very much looking forward to that. And again, it should be out very soon. Abby says it's hailing in Pleasant Hill. And we can see on radar. Yep. Anytime you see purple, that's a good sign that there's some torrential rain and probably some hail there too. And yep, there's your hail core. Right, well, really all of that, but especially right in there, Pleasant Hill, that is your hail core. And again, all this is continuing to move east. PDT on YouTube has a great comment. Hurricanes are bad, but you have warning. This is like you look at radar and it's clear, and then there's a torrential downpour and thunderstorm above you. And that's literally what's happened tonight in some spots, like it's been clear. Use Smith County as an example. You know, Smith County was fine. Carthage area, nothing going on. And then within a matter of literally moments, there was a big storm just to the north. It literally popped up like that. So that's how a lot of this activity has been this evening. Of course, we've had some more organized storms like this one moving into Pleasant Hill. But this activity started out as a bunch of nothing. Kind of got its act together in western Putnam County and has continued on since then. So it's been the case all evening. Let's look at Clark Range again. Got a pretty good view of this storm rolling into Clark Range right now. Just a tremendous amount of lightning with this. Speaking of hurricanes, I watched that Hurricane Katrina documentary on Hulu. Binged watched that last night. I mean, I did watch the whole thing. I couldn't stop watching it. Just a lot of things I just, you know, I've not studied it that much. Of course, I remember it. You know, I was 11 years old when Katrina came through, but wow, really, really opened my eyes to a lot more than I was aware of with that situation. So definitely recommend watching it if you want a good documentary to watch. How's Southeast Kentucky? Bryson, where are you? What in the world? Southeast Kentucky? Depends on what you mean by Southeast Kentucky. That's getting way outside the area that I cover, but it is storming. Got a severe thunderstorm warning up that way. So, you can see that on radar there, but that is way outside our viewing area, northeast of Somerset. But they're dealing with the same stuff we are too. Just scattered storms, damaging wind threat being the main concern. But again, still no active warnings. We've gone about 40 minutes or so without any warnings, maybe 45 minutes. I said I was going to cut the stream at 9:45, but then this advisory was issued. So we're going to stay live just a little bit longer and watch this one, but we'll push that out to 10 as of right now, and then we'll call it quits at that point. I don't really foresee anything else nefarious happening at this point, but again, we'll stay live with it just in case. Not worried about tornadoes or anything, just damaging winds if we do have a storm get that strong, as well as large hail. Certainly appreciate y'all tuning in, though. If you want to support us, I'll show this full screen here if you want to screenshot that for later or take a picture of it, whatever. Because we are community supported. That it is your support and local businesses that keeps us going, literally. If it wasn't for y'all, I could not be here doing this in this capacity that I am now. So if you want to keep this going and not only just keep it going, but allow it to thrive and grow larger and get to the point maybe I can finally hire some help. Investing in new technologies. All sorts of things I want to do, but you know, your support is what allows it to happen. So if you want to support us, there are all the different ways you can do so. It is greatly appreciated. Patreon's really cool because we have subscriptions there with different tier levels, so different things tied to those. We now have a monthly giveaway, actually 2 giveaways, one for a $50 prize and one for a $100 prize. Those are exclusive to Patreon. You don't have to pay to be entered to win those. Got to keep it legal, but if you do have a paid subscription, you do get more chances at winning, significantly higher chances. And then you also have other perks with that as well. We are having our first ever movie night at the studio later this month for the highest tier level, and that'll be every other month. We'll see how that goes. If it goes well, we'll continue it. If not, we may discontinue that tier, but we got to do at least one though, see how it goes, and we do have a few people on that tier level, so that'll be a lot of fun. We have our t-shirt club, and I think the first t-shirts, that'll be next month. Those will go out, and that'll be, I think, every 3 months we'll have t-shirts, and then we also may make those available to buy as well individually. And just several other things too. Perks, a monthly live chat. I am going to make that available to everyone on all paid subscriptions starting this month. We'll do that towards the end of the month. So the level 3 out of 5 tier, I believe it is. If you go over there, we'll keep that tier, but we'll change the perk to something else though, and make that chat available to everyone. And listen, I don't hide weather information behind a paywall, and I never will. Even our app coming out will be free. There's no subscription or anything involved in that. So the perks are just purely for fun. You know, we'll talk about behind the scenes things and chat, whatever, but as far as weather information, severe weather, again, that'll never be behind a paywall. It'll always be free to you. But anyway, those are all different ways you can support us. Again, it is greatly appreciated. Back to radar, and we are, I think, going to wind down this stream here very soon. Just these storms are still strong. They're not really posing much of a threat as far as severe weather goes, but still fairly strong. This cell here in Pleasant Hill moving into Crossville here soon. Just isn't wanting to let up. So we are watching this very closely as it moves into Crossville. At least some small hail possible with this. Again, gusty winds up to 40 miles per hour as this moves into Crossville. We'll look at this again from our Crossville Skycam view here. You can see the lightning there with this storm as it continues onward towards Crossville. And really, that's about it. Some stronger storms here across eastern Overton County, western Fentress County, back into Clay County, but nothing of concern up this way. Just some heavy rain and lightning. And then I've got light showers across much of the region right now. Again, nothing of concern here. Some heavier cells still southwest of Nashville. Those may drift our way, we'll see, but they're not severe. Just some lightning. Kind of the same thing we're seeing out this way right now. And as we get deeper into the night, that severe threat will only diminish further. It's already pretty low at this point, and it will only get lower. So, Allie says, never seen lightning like this. And it is. I mean, it is almost non-stop continuous lightning. See here from Clark Range. I mean, it is a heck of an electrical show. And just isn't wanting to let up. And what's wild is some areas haven't seen much rain at all. You know, there's parts of Smith County, for instance, that really just haven't seen much of anything. Some light rain right now. Maybe a passing heavy shower briefly, but then you get Jackson County where some areas have seen upwards of 3 or more inches of rain. It's just one of those nights. It's not really like a line of storms coming through. We got these individual clusters that are somewhat organized, but not necessarily conform to a line like we sometimes see. So it's 9:57 right now. These storms do remain intense, but they are not severe. But at 10 o'clock, I think I will go ahead and wind this down. Now, if you're watching on YouTube, we'll just go back to our Upper Cumberland Weather Channel. I will end the stream that's specifically for the severe weather coverage. But our live channel stream will remain active as it always does 24/7. You can also watch us on Hub Plus on Roku. So those options will still be there for you as well. Again, very intense storm over Clark Range right now. At our Skycam site, we have winds sustained at about 10 miles per hour right now. We've had a 20 mile per hour gust in the last 5 minutes. So pretty strong winds. Definitely with the heavy rain, it makes it even heavier. Yeah, Lori, those Nashville storms, I don't think we got too much to worry about with those. They're not severe right now, and if anything, they should weaken as they move this way. Even if they remain their same intensity, they're still not severe. So the severe threat overall is diminishing. So that is the good news on that front. But we're still keeping a close eye on these just for a few moments longer, just because we can. While y'all watch that, I'm looking at the hail cores here in Cumberland County. Not really that impressive. Maybe some pea-sized hail embedded in this, but nothing more than that. Definitely a torrential downpour, though, as we can clearly see on our Clark range camera. And a lot of lightning. So not a fun storm by any means, but it is not severe. So that is the good news there. So we got one more minute, and I am going to sign off for real this time. So again, it's been great being here with y'all tonight. I greatly appreciate each and every one of you for tuning in and trusting me. Certainly when daylight hits, we'll know a little bit more as far as wind damage goes. I know we've had several power outages this evening. Has some very, very large hail in the Gainesboro area, golf ball size hail. So we'll dig into that a little bit more. But as far as severe weather goes, that threat is diminishing. We will have additional showers and storms, at least over the next few hours, moving through the region. This activity west of Nashville may impact us later on. But again, that severe threat is dwindling. Doesn't mean we won't still see some intense storms with a lot of lightning and torrential downpours, but as far as severe weather goes, that threat is subsiding, thankfully. Now, we'll get these storms through here. We may see a bit of a lull overnight, maybe some scattered storms, and then we may have another widespread round of showers and storms later on in the morning. Not severe, not expecting any severe weather with those, and then we may see additional showers continuing off and on for much of the day, tapering off during the afternoon hours. So it might be kind of an off and on soggy day on Saturday, but no more severe weather worries once we get past really this evening, which is good news. And that'll really be it. So temperatures tomorrow will be much cooler, though. We do have a cold front moving through, so highs tomorrow will only be in the lower 70s. Some areas may not even get out of the 60s, but then we'll warm back up on Sunday with the sun returning, and then 80s returning next week. So it'll be a short-lived cool spell, we'll call it, but hey, it's getting closer to fall. Technically still summer for a couple more weeks, but you know, we're going to be making that transition in the fall, and you know, who knows what's ahead. Certainly strong storms tonight, but we will have some pretty nice days ahead once we get past tomorrow, so we can definitely look forward to that. But that being said, I am going to sign off here from coverage. We've gone about an hour now without any severe thunderstorm warnings. I don't anticipate we'll see any more. I can't totally rule it out, but again, we're at a pretty good spot right now where I feel good about signing off. If we do have an isolated warning, I'll post about it, but again, it would be for wind and hail. Not expecting anything tornadic the rest of the night, thankfully. So not that we really did anyway to begin with this evening, but we're at a good spot now. I'm going to sign off. Please stay safe tonight. If you have to head out, you got a third shift or whatever, or heading home from work late tonight or whatever it is you're doing, just be safe, be mindful. We do have storms out there that are still fairly strong. But again, that severe threat has very much diminished and will only continue to decrease as we get into the overnight hours to pretty much near zero deep into the night. So if we see any additional storms, they'll just be of the lightning and heavy rain variety, not necessarily severe. Maybe some brief gusty winds, small hail, that sort of thing that we're seeing right now, but that will be about it. That being said,